In the day's other news, the Trump administration held talks with Mexican officials at the White House as the U.S. considers a 5% tariff on all imports from Mexico. President Trump has demanded that Mexico do more to stop illegal immigration, or else the tariffs will go into effect next week. In Ireland today, Mr. Trump said he thinks that Mexico wants to find a compromise.
Mexico can stop it. They have to stop it. Otherwise, we just won't be able to do business. It's a very simple thing. And I think they will stop it. I think they want to do something. I think they want to make a deal. And they sent their top people to try and do it. We'll see what happens today.
Some Republicans in the Senate are already lining up against the president's tariff proposal, while others say they support his push to address immigration now.
Direct and virtually immediate effect, once they go into effect, is higher prices for consumers for all kinds of products that we buy from Mexico. The next order risk is a risk of retaliation. It's hard for the Mexican government not to retaliate, so then we get a decline in sales.
The pain you're going to suffer to fix the border is do it now or do it later. If Mexico doesn't change their behavior, they'll keep coming. If we don't change our laws, they'll keep coming. So what's the president supposed to do? Just throw up his hands and give up?
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi warned that new U.S. tariffs on Mexico would be, quote, punishing for both countries. Also today, the U.S. Border Patrol reported that its officers apprehended more than 132,000 migrants at the Mexican border last month. That is the highest level in over a decade. The Trump administration is canceling English classes, legal aid, and other programs for unaccompanied children at some U.S. migrant shelters. It was first reported in the Washington Post, citing a strain on the Department of Health and Human Services budget due to the rise in border crossings. More than 40,000 unaccompanied children have been placed into HHS custody this year, a 57% increase over last year. The Trump administration also said today that it is ending medical research by government scientists using human fetal tissue. The move is a win for anti-abortion groups, but it was opposed by some scientists who said there is no other way to study some health problems. Government-backed research at universities can continue, but will be subject to additional scrutiny. The policy change does not affect privately funded research. In Sudan, the death toll from a three-day crackdown on opposition protesters surpassed 100 people today. At least 40 bodies were pulled from the Nile River in Khartoum. The clashes began Monday when security forces stormed a pro-democracy protest camp. Today, the country's military rulers offered to resume talks on transitioning to civilian rule.
We are sorry for what happened. We pray for the souls of the martyrs and hope for the quickest of recoveries for the wounded. The general prosecutor has been directed toward investigating these events. The necessary legal measures will be taken as soon as possible.
Sudan's opposition leaders rejected the offer to resume talks and vowed to keep protesting. A bipartisan group of U.S. senators announced 22 joint resolutions that would block weapon sales to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates without congressional approval. That's after the Trump administration invoked emergency powers to push through $8 billion in arms sales last month. It is not clear whether the resolutions will have enough support to overcome a likely presidential veto. YouTube announced today that it will remove thousands of videos and channels with white supremacist and neo-Nazi content from its site. The video streaming company will also bar any videos denying well-documented events like the Holocaust ever happened. The move comes amid growing criticism that online services allow and sometimes fuel hate speech. And stocks rallied for a second day on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 207 points to close at 25,539. The Nasdaq rose 48 points, and the S&P 500 added 23. Still to come on the NewsHour, the veterans of D-Day share their stories 75 years after the historic invasion. Sitting down with Democratic presidential candidate Colorado Senator Michael Bennet. How American farmers are coping with unprecedented floodwaters and a trade war. An in-depth look at Robert Mueller's investigation into whether the president obstructed justice, and much more.